A few days ago in the Discord server, we decided to create a survey. Now, this survey would give us insight on correlation between Skyblock related matters and real life matters. The data you'll see today is based off over 1,000 responses, and most definitely will uncover some very interesting trends. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say, while this data is real based on our responses, it is more of a joke, so let's not take this too seriously. Also, all of the responses that we received are completely anonymous, no data is tracked or anything like that. And if you do want to take a look at the survey yourself, or maybe even complete it so we can get more responses and maybe do a follow-up video to this if people enjoy it, then it's linked in the description. Okay, kicking it off with something that is quite self-explanatory for Skyblock players. How many days a week on average do you shower? Well, we have a small amount of people that only shower once, and likewise for 2. 11% of people only shower 3 days a week, and 10% of people only shower 4 days a week. Almost 11% of people shower 5 days a week, 12.5 shower 6, and then the majority shower in 7. I'm not sure how reliable this data really is. Although there is a pretty sizable slice of people here who claim they go full death streaks. And to put that into perspective, around about 25% of people who actually responded to that question showered 3 or less days a week, with a whole 43 people showering 0 days a week, doing the full death streaks. Now, whether you like it or not, carries are well and truly part of the game. One of the most popular slayers for people to get carried through being Enderman Slayer. Without leveling Enderman Slayer, you don't have access to weapons like the Juju Shortbow, or for that reason, even the Terminator. So let's see what percentage of people were carried through Enderman Slayer. A whopping 44% of people were actually carried through Enderman Slayer. Now, this makes sense considering this data was gathered from our Discord server, and one of the main reasons why we've got so many people in there is for the carries. 36% of people did it themselves, and 19% of people still can't use Juju. Oh, but for those people who can't use a Juju, you should really consider joining the Discord server, as we offer Slayers and Dungeon carries. If you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel if you watch the videos, and you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do so. Now, on Hypixel, my ping is pretty bad. Compared to other people, it's probably great, probably heavenly, but for the majority of people who play Hypixel Skyblock over in North America, they experience much better ping than this. The most prominent single demographic for anything Hypixel Skyblock related, whether that be YouTube or Discord, is the United States of America. The USA is known for its love of pickup trucks for some reason, reasonable size food portions, and for the school system failing them, leading to the majority of Americans thinking that this is the world map. Hence this question, are you capable of naming 5 different countries? You see, this is where people are most definitely lying, because realistically this should be 30%, which would match up with, well, my demographic of American viewers. Whereas only 3%, that's 31 people, answered no. Come on guys. You know what, I'm going to retaliate for you. Bottle of water. This is actually not, I don't see, beans are disgusting, and actually in fairness, this is an American thing. This was actually created in America. So anyway, and yes, our Prime Minister did actually like playing Total Wipeout with children. But then again, your current president does just like to sleep anywhere. Anyway, moving on. We learned that over 50% of people's favourite non-cosmetic skill is combat. I mean, to be fair, that kind of makes sense. We've got mining at 16.3 and farming at 15.1. This small slice is foraging. You crazy people. We also learned that over 55% of people's least favourite non-cosmetic skill is foraging. Who would have thought it? Then we have fishing at 20.5. That is slander. I bet those people haven't fished. We also have a lot of alchemy haters, interestingly, and also a lot of mining haters, which is kind of crazy. The slander on foraging. 55% of people say it's their least favourite non-cosmetic skill. Come on guys, we've had constant updates for the past 4 years. It's not like we've been promising an update for a while. Now, of course, to make comparisons, we had to ask other questions. This one here. How many are you currently in a relationship? 75% of people say no and 24% of people say yes. That makes sense. The demographic is Skyblock players. But this paints quite an interesting picture. It turns out that if you're actually in a relationship, you statistically have a higher foraging level and a higher cattle level. People in a relationship have an average foraging level of 23.48, whereas people who aren't have an average foraging level of 21.01. As for catacombs, people who are in a relationship with a 32.02 average catacombs level, and people who aren't with a 30.5 average catacombs level. Now, you would think that those insane people who grind foraging, and have a higher foraging level would most likely probably not be in a relationship, but of course this is the data. It doesn't really tell us that. It tells us the opposite. The type of person to grind foraging that much, you would think would probably not shower too much and therefore, you know, have a lower chance of being in a relationship, but that's not what we're seeing. And I guess that says it all. If you're struggling to find that special someone, maybe you just need to increase your foraging and catacombs level to impress them. Now, something that is very interesting to look at is this graph right here. This graph measures the level of boldness of the Skyblock player compared to their Skyblock level. And we decided to make a very, very logical method of measuring this. We measured boldness on a scale from 1 to 5. 5 would be an egg, and 1 would be a full head of luscious hair. And those people with those luscious locks only have an average Skyblock level of 173. Those people who were losing it a little bit had a slightly higher Skyblock level at an average of 178. Those people who are in the territory of probably realistically should be shaving it off soon have an average Skyblock level of 189. Those people who put 4, where they're at the point where they really probably do need to shave it off, have an average Skyblock level of 206. And the eggs who have accepted can then move on and have an even higher Skyblock average level of 216. So if we're going off that data, it's not looking very good for me. And for that case, it's looking even worse for others. So here we have another graph. This graph measures your net worth in Skyblock in comparison to your relationship status. So here, people with a 0 to 2 billion coin net worth, 21% of those are in a relationship. 2 to 4 billion net worth, and that goes up to 23%. 4 to 6 billion, and that goes up again to 24%. 6 to 8 billion, and that shoots up to 34%. Those people with 8 to 10 billion net worth, what on earth happened? But then people with 10 plus billion coins net worth have a 34.2% chance. This is a bit of an outlier, but we can see that there is somewhat of a trend to follow, and that is basically the higher net worth you have, the more chance you have of being in a relationship, which really is counterintuitive. So if you can take anything from this video, it will at least be, if you're trying to attract someone who you're attracted to, maybe you should just think about increasing your net worth, your foraging level, and also your cattle level. Now that I've run out of the fancy graphs and pie charts, I'm just gonna dump some statistics. The average foraging level concluded from this survey is 21.66, average cattle level at 30.9, average playtime at 1,244 hours, average height at 175 centimeters, average level of boldness on a scale from 1 to 5 at 1.56. Average amount of days showered per week, 5.19. Average Skyblock level, 180. Let me know what you think of this in the comment. Remember, go ahead, go into the description and fill out this survey, because if you do enjoy this video, then I guess we could always do a follow-up in the future. But that will be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.